Oh, yeah, we're live. I'm Harry Von Gart, and you're listening and watching the L2C Media Network. And this is Sports Final with the I hope we can get through this without this thing shutting down. Steve, the Baxman Baxley. We're sponsored, of course, by the L2C Media Network. With all that said, you already know who I am. Let's get you over to the sports desk, known as the Fred McLeod Sports Desk. And our host, he's no boomer. Well, at least we try. Here's Steve. Hey, how you doing? Momentation, please. Can you turn on 12, please? Blessing. Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? How's everything? How's life? The universe treating you all well? Great. Let's get to it, shall we? Let's see if we can't make it up to 45 minutes. We're going to try everything. Because yesterday we were on a roll, then all of a sudden. So let's do it to it, pro it. Get you to some of the games that have that are still going on as we speak. 10th inning, Texas Rangers lead the Houston Astros 3-2. In the top of the 8th. Oh, now it's in the bottom of the 10th. Excuse me. Gee, we're really rocking this fast, aren't we, kids? San Diego Padres lead. Yeah. Colorado Rockies lead the San Diego Padres 6-4 in the top of the 8th. Bottom of the 6th. We got a tie between the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim and the Oakland Athletics we already mentioned it. 2-2 tie. Top of the 6th, Diamondbacks 8. Diamondbacks of Arizona, or the Arizona Diamondbacks, whatever floats your boat. Arizona Diamondbacks 8. San Francisco Giants 3. We got games in the 5th inning already. Seattle Mariners beating the almost said Los Angeles Twins. Seattle Seahawks. Okay, let's do it this way. Seattle Kraken. There you go. Okay, now we've mentioned all of them. Seattle Mariners lead the Minnesota Twins, the top of the 6th, 6-0. In the top of the 5th, it is the defending World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers, leading Philadelphia Phillies 3-1. Now, let's go to some final scores, shall we? And this took 10 innings. It just came final. Cincinnati Reds over the Milwaukee Brewers 2-1. And unlike previous times, we got room enough to give you all the deets. For Reds, 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors. For the Brewers, 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. Players of the game, Anderson for Milwaukee, the pitcher, went 7 full innings, gave up 1 hit, no errors, 9 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Castillo's the loser for Cincinnati. 7 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 7 strikeouts, and 3 bibs, otherwise known as walks. Your winning pitcher was Sims. He's 4-1. Boxberger got the loss. He's 2-2, and gets the save for Cincinnati. WKRP. Got tired of packing and unpacking. Town to town, up and down the dial. Maybe you and me were never meant to be. Just think of me once in a while. I'm at WKRP in Cincinnati. Okay, there you go. Final score, Washington Nationals. Hey, they finally won a game. Huzzah. Leave us to hear it. Let's hear it. Please, people, cheer for the Nats. All right. They swallowed up the Pirates by a score of 8-1, 8-13-1 for the Nats, 1-8-0 for the Pirates. Corbin the winner. He's 4-5 for the Nats. Anderson the loser for the Pirates. He's 3-7. By the way, Corbin was your player of the game, or was one of the two players of the game. 8 1/3 innings pitched. 8 hits, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. Gomes for Washington is also a player of the week. He went 1 for 3. 2 runs, a homer, 4 runs batted in, and a walk. Let's keep going. Final score: Yankees over the Blue Jays 6-5, 6-9-0 for the Yanks, 5-9-1 for the Blue Jays. Thank you. Oh, you shut me down, you rats. All right. Loziga gets the win for the Yanks. He's 6-2. Miza gets a loss. He's 1-1. Chapman gets his 13th save for the Yanks. Chapman and Ryu are your players of the game. Chapman for the Yankees, the pitcher, went 1 full inning. No hit, no earned runs, 1 strikeout, no walks. Meanwhile, Ryu for Toronto, their pitcher, went 6 full. Gave up 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 4 bases on balls, and a partridge in a pear tree. Okay, another final score. Cleveland defeated the Baltimore Orioles 7-2, 7-10-1 for the Cleveland, 2-7-4 for the Orioles. Karinchak gets the win for Cleveland. He's 4-2. Harvey gets a loss. He's 3-8. Quantrill gets the big old nod, the Cleveland pitcher. Went 4 full, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts, no walks, and a turtleneck around your neck. Meanwhile, Karinchak, Cleveland pitcher, pitched 1 full inning, didn't give up a hit. Or he didn't give up a hit. Yeah, I got the words right. No earned runs, 3 strikeouts, and no walks. New York Mets beat Chicago Cubs 3-2, 3-8-0 for the Mets, 2-7-1 for the Cubbies. Walker, your winner for the Mets. He's 6-2. Mills gets the loss for the Cubbies. He's 2-1. Lugo for the Mets gets the save. Walker for the Mets, their pitcher, went 7 full innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 12 strikeouts, no walks. He and Lugo are your players of the game. Lugo came up, 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. More final scores. We got them, and you're going to get them. Red Sox 10, Braves nothing, 10-14-3 for the Red Sox, 8-9-0 for the Bravos. Sawamura gets the win for the Red Sox. He's 3-0. Martin gets the loss for the Braves. He's 0-3. And Barnes fishheads his way with a 15th save for the Red Sox. Devers for Boston, third baseman, went 3 for 5, 2 runs, a homer, double, and 4 ribs with very little sauce. Sawamura, the Boston pitcher, 1 inning pitch, no hits, no earned runs, 1 strikeout, and no walks. Break up Los Tigres del Detroit. They didn't do too bad. 4-3 final score over the Kansas City Royals. 4-10-0 for the Tigers. 3-7-0 for the Royals. Mice gets the win for the Tigers. He's 4 up, 4 down. Minor gets the loss for the Royals. 5 up, 4 down. And the save for the Tigers goes to Soto, his 6th. In fact, Soto and Mize for the Tigers, the 2 good pitchers, are your players of the game. Soto pitched 1 inning, no hits, no earned runs, 1 strikeout, and no walks. Mize for Detroit, 6 2/3, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. Chicago White Sox over Tampa Bay Rays, 3-0, 3-9-0 for the Sox, 0-6-1 for the Rays. Kuchel gets the win for the Sox. He's 6-1. McClanahan, didn't do so good. He got 2-2. He's 2 wins, 2 losses. Hendricks, 18th save for the White Sox. In fact, Hendricks is one of the players of the game, along with Kuchel, 2 pitchers for the White Sox. Hendricks, 1 inning pitch, 2 hits, no earned runs, 2 strikeouts, no walks. Kuchel for the White Sox also. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. And the St. Louis Cardinals, they defeated the Miami Marlins by a score of 2-1, 2-6-1 for the Cards, 1-3-1 for the Marlins. Reyes gets the win. He's 4-2 for the Cards. Garcia ends up embarrassed with the loss. He's 3-5. Rogers for Miami, the pitcher that began the game. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. Kim for St. Louis, their pitcher, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts, and 5 walks. And there you go, right there, hand in hand. Baseball's fun line. By the way, can we, we should do this. We're going to do it again. Okay, we are on Tuesday, which means it's time for us to give you the standings right now in Major League Baseball. Right now, the American League East, Tampa Bay still on top, 43-25. 2 games up on Boston, 41-27. 8 games up on the Yankees, 34-32. 8.5 on Toronto, 33-32. And 20 games out. You might as well just eliminate Baltimore from any hope for a playoff. They're 22-44. They're 20 games out of first place. Chicago White Sox in the Central Division, 4.5 up on Cleveland. Now, by the way, White Sox 42-25. They're top dogs. They're 4.5 on Cleveland, 30. 11 up on Kansas City, 30-35. 14.5 up on Detroit, 27-39. And 15.5 up on Minnesota, 26-40. Let's go to the West where, well, I'm going to say the American League, until the All-Star break, the American League East, Central, and West are not actually getting more entertaining. Oakland is the top dog in the West, 41-27, 2.5 up on Houston, 37-28, 7 up on the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, 33 up, 33 down, even 500. 8 up on Seattle, 33-35, and 15.5 up on Texas, 25-41. Now for the National League. The East is, very interesting for a little while. New York Mets are top dogs at 34-25, 4.5 up on Philadelphia at 32-32, 6.5 up on Atlanta, 30-34, 7.5 up on Washington, 29-35, 8.5 up on Miami, 29-37. Now your Central Division and your Western Division of the National League, that one you have to watch out because that can go either way. Give you a reason why. Let's go to the National League Central Division. The Milwaukee Brewers are top dog, 36-28. They are half a game up on the Chicago Cubs at 38-29. 4 up on Cincinnati, 33-31. 5 up on San Luis, 33-33. Pittsburgh, 15 up on Pittsburgh, 23-43. The West, well, that one's also gaining a little interest. San Francisco still top dog at 41-25, a game up on the defending world champion Los Angeles Dodgers at 40-26. 4 up on San Diego at 38-30. 15.5 up on Colorado at 26-41, and 21.5 up on Arizona at 20-47. By the time the All-Star break comes, I have a feeling Arizona and Baltimore will be putting an E next to their names, as in eliminated from any hope for a playoff. All right, let's keep this fun going. And going, and going, and going. Yeah, going. Let's take you now to the NBA. Playoff time again. Yes, sir. Let's go to the NBA, please. Go to scores. Thank you. By the way, I forgot to mention all the scores are brought to you courtesy of William Hill Sportsbook, whose motto is, let's make it interesting, but let's do so responsibly. Okay? And there's only one game to report on, and that is Game 5. Game 5. The Brooklyn Nets humiliated the Milwaukee Bucks by a score of 114 to 108. And so the Brooklyn Nets lead that series by a 3-2 margin. Game 6 coming up on the 17th. There you go. Okay, that's your NBA. How about the NHL? We go from the hard court to the simulated ice. And only one game to report on. It happens to be the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Stanley Cup defending champions. They defeated the New York Islanders 4-2 to take a 1-1 series tie in the best 4 of 7. I said long ago this was going to be one of the more difficult games to predict, and it is. I hedge the bet. All righty, let's rock this puppy and get you some headlines before we go any further on this little sportatorium that we have for you here. All right, Tampa Bay Rays ace Tyler Glasnow, who left his start on Monday night because of elbow inflammation, has a particularly torn ulnar collateral ligament, or UCL, and a flexor tendon strain, according to Jeff Pizzon of ESPN. Glasnow will attempt to rehab the injury without going the famed Tommy John surgery, though it's unclear what his chances are of avoiding that fate. I can give you that answer in a quick moment. Goose eggs. He's going to have it. Rest assured. Bet on it. The 27-year-old has pitched fantastically over his first 14 starts this season. He's compiled a .266 ERA and a 4.56 strikeout to walk ratio in 88 innings. Now, although the Rays tend to steer away from lengthy starts, they'd recently allowed him to work at least 7 innings in 4 of his last 5 outings, entering Monday's contest against the Chicago White Sox. Now, Glasnow, for his part, blamed his injury on Major League Baseball's new policies aimed at curbing pitchers' use of foreign substances. Quote, I just threw 80-something innings, and you just told me I can't use anything. I have to change everything, he told reporters, including Valley Sports Florida's Tricia Whitaker. I believe 100% that's why I got hurt. I'm frustrated. Major League Baseball doesn't understand. You can't just tell us to use nothing. It's crazy. Now, in the short term, the Rays will likely attempt to weather Glasnow's absence by recalling right-hander Luis Patino from AAA Durham. The Rays have a few other starting pitchers at that level who can pitch in as needed, including Brett Honeywell Jr. and Drew Strotman. The recently promoted Shane Baz, acquired alongside Glasnow from Pittsburgh Pirates, seems unlikely to get the call any time soon. Now, the Rays could also dip into the trade market over the coming weeks in an attempt to counterbalance the loss of Glasnow. The Rays have one of the deepest farm systems in baseball and could theoretically be a player for any and every starting pitcher on the market, provided they're willing to take on salary, which I just have a feeling they're not. But stay tuned, to be continued. The NBA announced its all-NBA teams today, Tuesday. NBA handed out most of its individual awards throughout the postseason, but on Tuesday it announced the recipients of one of the league's highest individual honors, that, of course, being the All-NBA teams. Each year, media voters select the league's 6 best guards, best forwards, and 3 best centers from the concluded regular season and organize them into 3 separate teams. Now we know what the voters have decided. Here they are. The All-NBA first team, your guards, Stephon Curry, Luka Doncic, The guard, forward, Kawhi Leonard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. And your center is Nikolai Jokic. Your All-NBA second team, the guards, Damian Lillard. Your forwards, LeBron James and Julius Randle. LeBron James, I put an asterisk on that one. But, hey, it's just me and about half of the other NBA fans. And your center is Joel Embiid. The All-NBA third team, the guards, Kyrie Irving, Bradley Beal. The forwards, Paul George, Jimmy Butler. And the center, Rudy Gobert. Now, Randle and Beal are the only first-time honorees among the 15 selections. James was named to an All-NBA team for a record 17 times. Though this was only his third team selection. James and Paul were the two oldest players to be selected at 36. Doncic was the youngest at 22. 6 players who made last year's All-NBA teams missed the cut this season. Anthony Davis and James Harden both made the first last season, but injuries deprived them of an opportunity to repeat this season. Pascal Siakam was the lone second-team finisher from last season to miss out this time around. And Ben Simmons, Jason Tatum, and Russell Westbrook also missed the cut, making the third team last season. Randle, Irving, George, Curry, Beal, and Embiid were their replacements. Now, an interesting note in the era of super teams is that only one team managed to have 2 players selected this season. Clippers saw both Leonard and George honored. The remaining 13 selections played for 13 different teams. Injuries to Davis, Harden, Kevin Durant deprived the Lakers and Nets of that same opportunity. But you got to remember, 3 teams were responsible for 7 of the NBA's all defensive team selections, which were announced Monday night. The best team often dominates these selections, but there was quite a bit of parity this season. 2 players should be especially grateful for their selections. Maverick guard Luka Doncic is now eligible for a Rose Rule rookie extension thanks to his All-NBA selection. That means he can earn up to 30% of the cap when his new deal kicks in for the 2022-2023 season. Joel Embiid earned super max eligibility by making an All-NBA team as well. As he is an older age bracket, he is eligible for 35% of the cap if he signs an extension this season. That extension will kick in for the 2023-2024 season. Now, the last remaining individual player honors to be announced are the All-Rookie teams and the Rookie of the Year award. Good luck to all. Okay, in the NFL, Bears coach Matt Nagy has had to do a little tap dancing. And here's why. The Chicago Bears traded up to the number 11 overall pick in the 2021 NFL draft to draft former Ohio State quarterback Justin Fields. But he may have to wait a bit before he sees any on-field action. The Bears also signed veteran signal caller Andy Dalton in free agency, and Chicago's brass has maintained that he will be the one. Thank you. He'll be the one to lead the Bears offense onto the field come week 1. Now, quotes and sound bites usually hold little weight compared to the attention they're given in May and June. But the Bears not holding a quarterback competition is something that they have been saying since handing in their draft cards for Fields. In fact, during an appearance on the Chris Collinsworth podcast featuring Richard Sherman, Bears head coach Matt Nagy said there isn't a scenario where Fields will be starting over Dalton for the season opener, barring injury, of course. Nagy said, no, I mean, Andy is our starter, and again, I can't predict anything. You know how it goes. There's so many things that could happen between today and that week 1 game, but Andy is our starter, and Justin is number 2. And we're going to stick to this plan. You always hope that nothing happens to Andy as far as injuries or anything like that. And that's why I can't say 100%. Andy is where we want him to be. He's had a great OTAs, and we're just going to continue to build with that. Now, Dalton spent last season with the Dallas Cowboys and ended up taking over as the starter once Dak Prescott went down with his ankle injury. In 11 games played, with 9 starts in last season, Dalton completed 65% of his passes for 2,170 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions while posting a 4-5 record. Now, Fields was a two-time Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year in 2 seasons with the Buckeyes. He was a Heisman finalist in 2019 and then led Ohio State to the national championship this past season where they fell to Alabama with a banjo on their knee. While he has impressed some teammates with his big arm in OTAs, it looks like he'll have to be patient for his chance at taking the snap. So stay tuned for that. This season's going to be very interesting in the NFL. Speaking of interesting, oh boy. Just when the Seattle Seahawks thought they could take a breath this offseason, it appears, well, they'll have to keep their inhaler handy. It's been a tumultuous past few months due to the very public saga between the club and quarterback Russell Wilson. A roller coaster. Where are we here? Yeah. A roller coaster that included Wilson's agent naming 4 teams he'd waive his trade clause for, only for Wilson himself to now proclaim he never asked for a trade. With that now seemingly put to bed, they must now shift their focus to Jamal Adams, the all-pro safety they acquired in 2020. To sit out mandatory minicamp per Jeffrey Arnold of the Oregonian, which technically makes him a holdout. A holdout. Thank you. As he attempts to exercise leverage toward a contract extension, having already sat out of OTAs. Now, the difference between the two absences is clear because while OTAs are voluntary, minicamp is mandatory, and absence from it comes attached to a fine of upwards to $93,000. The team will reportedly opt to not fine him, though, instead excusing him for personal reasons, as NFL Network's Tom Pelissero. In a move that could get the wheels greased in contract talks, as if the wheel needed any further grease. Now, that's not the money Adams was concerned with anyway, though seeing as he's entering the final year of his rookie deal and would likely like security beyond this upcoming season, he and the Seahawks reportedly agreed to table any kind of talks of a possible extension during the trade that sent safety Bradley McDougald a 2021 first round, a 2021 third round, and a 2022 first round pick to the Jets in exchange for Adams and a 2022 fourth round pick. With so much capital given up to land Adams, the Seahawks want him to stay put for a long time to come, as noted by General Manager John Schneider. He's a good old boy. Said Adams, well, we want him to be here for a long time, for sure. He's a great player. We're glad we made the trade to get him, and he's going to be a very important part of our future. Now, for his part, Adams made it clear last summer he wants to retire a Seahawk. Adams told media via Periscope interview, I prayed hard on it. I asked God to place me where I needed to be, whether that was to go back to New York or whether it was to be traded. This is my calling, man. I'm here to stay. I'm excited to be a Seattle Seahawk. Like I said, I'm really overwhelmed, but at the same time, it's so surreal to be around a great organization like Seattle, to be coached by legendary coaches, Hall of Fame coaches, and to play with Hall of Famers. I'm just excited to be here. I'm here to help, and I can't wait to get out there in front of the 12th man. Now, the 12th man is on track to return to Lumen Field this coming season, and the expectation is Adams will be on the field to greet them. But negotiating a contract with the Seahawks while holding out is usually a tall task that doesn't often end how the player would like, as noted by former NFL agent and current CBS Sports contract guru Joel Curry. The organization doesn't take kindly to being strong-armed. Oh, this is going to be a fantastic offseason. Okay, we got more to come But right now, take a little pause for the celestial being of this world to give you some cheesy little pluggeroo here. That's right. We are plugging. We are plugging. Yes, we're plugging. Uh, oops, we got that wrong. There. Let's give you a little cheese, a little plug ski for tonight's little edition of Rekieta Law. In fact, right now, Nick Rekieta, the humble Minnesota lawyer, is interviewing Phil Ellison, the attorney for Lucas Gerhardt, on liberty and free speech. It's a very interesting talk. The Rekieta Law Network, or the Rekieta Law channel here on YouTube, midnight to 3 a.m. Eastern Time. So please, 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 by all means, join in on the celebration of a program called Lawsplaining the Interwebs. There you go. All right, let's get to some soccer scoreage and a whole lot more stuff here. We are going to make it. I predict it. All right, let's go to it. All right, kiddies and cadets, let's rock it. European Championship Group F, Portugal over Hungary, 3-0. France, 1-0 over Germany. In the Copa America Group A, Paraguay, 3-1 winner over Bolivia. In the international friendly, Tunisia, 1-0 over Mali. Women's international friendly, Germany and Chile tied at 0. Costa Rica 4, Guatemala 1. Netherlands 7, Norway 0. Sweden and Australia tied at 0. Spain over Denmark 3-0. Scotland over Wales 1-0. World Cup qualifying in the Asia sector. Philippines and Maldives tied at 1. China over Syria 3-1. Australia over Jordan 1-0. Kuwait over Chinese Taipei 2-1. Bahrain and Spain stays mainly on the plane. Bahrain over Hong Kong 4-0. Iran over Iraq 1-0. Palestine over Yemen 3-0. Saudi Arabia over Uzbekistan 3-0. India and Afghanistan tied at 1. Oman 3, Bangladesh 0. Japan 5-1 winners over Kyrgyzstan. Tajikistan 4-0 winner over Myanmar. Malaysia over Thailand 1-0. United Arab Emirates over Vietnam 3-0. North Korea and Turkmenistan was just rightfully canceled. Finnish soccer action, Helsinki over Hanka. They made it simple, 1-0. Haka over Lahti, 1-1. That was a tie. Oulu over KTP, 3-1. In World Cup qualifying North and Central America, Curacao and Panama, they tied at 0. In aggregate, Panama won 2-1. Wow. All righty, getting fast here, fast and furious. Let's do some scores. Let's go to the AAA scoreboard. Yep, we're doing scores now. All right, we got you covered here. Bottom of the 7th, Sacramento over Tacoma, 9-7. Bottom of the 9th, and not the 9th. Bottom of the 5th, Reno over Las Vegas, 10-1. Final scores. Woodchester over Lehigh Valley, 10-1. Jacksonville over Charlotte, 6-4. Scranton Wilkes-Barre over Syracuse, 12-6. Norfolk over Durham, 4-1. Buffalo over Rochester, 4-1. Indianapolis over Memphis, 6-1. Gwinnett over Nashville, 2-1. Columbus over Toledo, 5-4. Sugar Land over Round Rock, and that took 5 innings. 4-2 was the final score. Oklahoma City over El Paso, 8-3. Iowa over St. Paul, 3-1. I'm watching the clock. Omaha over Louisville, 11-5. And Albuquerque over Salt Lake 12-7. Let's go now to AA. Beep, beep. MILB. Final in 10 innings, Reading over Harrisburg 9-8. Akron over Bowie 3-2. Portland over Binghamton 9-4. Chattanooga over Tennessee 5-3. Somerset over Richmond 10-1. Erie over Altoona 4-3. Rocket City over Biloxi 8-6. Pensacola over Montgomery 5-4. Birmingham over Mississippi 7-0. Corpus Christi over Frisco 3-0. Wichita lineman over see, it's a Glenn Campbell song. Wichita over Springfield. Da 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 da. Thank you. Rough crowd. Wichita over Springfield 13-4. San Antonio over Northwest Arkansas 5-3. Amarillo over Midland 6-4. Arkansas over Tulsa in 10 innings 3-2. And a game that was suspended due to weather. Hartford, New Hampshire had to be stopped at the bottom of the first inning. No score. It'll be completed on June 16th, which is later today. All right, let's go to the high A. I'll give you the scores. The game's still in progress. Spokane over, Tri-Cities over Spokane in the top of the 8th, 2-zip. Everett over Vancouver, 12-0, bottom of the 5th. Top of the 7th inning, Eugene over Hillsboro, 5-1. Greenville over Hickory, 9-2. Asheville over Aberdeen, 13-5. Greensboro over Winston-Salem, 3-2. Bowling Green over Rome, 7-3. Lake County over West Mish, 3-2. Brooklyn over Wilmington, 3-1. Hudson Valley over the Jersey Shore, 6-5. Lansing over Great Lakes Loons, 9-7. Dayton over Fort Wayne, 5-4. What a way to no. Not private browsing. Come on, we don't get out of private browsing. I don't need that. Dayton over Fort Wayne, 5-4. Quad Cities over Wisconsin, 5-3. Peoria over Beloit, 6-4. South Bend over Cedar Rapids, 9-4. And that, believe it or not, is that for the high A. Let's go now to low A, and we got it made in the shade. Low A, bottom of the 7th inning, Fresno over Stockton, 12-2. San Jose and Modesto in the top of the 7th inning, 6-2, San Jose. Lake Elsinore and Inland Empire in the top of the 9th, they're tied at 2. Tampa over Bradenton, 10-5. Jupiter over St. Lucie, 6-5. Clearwater over Dunedin, 9-7. Lakeland over Fort Myer, 2-1. Kannapolis over Down East, 9-7. Carolina over Fayetteville, 11-2. Charleston in 7 innings beat Myrtle Beach by a score of 9-5. Fredericksburg over Lynchburg, 3-2. Salem over Delmarva, 6-2. Columbia over Augusta, 4-3. Rancho Cucamonga over Visalia, 10-2. And a game that was suspended in the top of the 4th inning. Daytona leads Palm Beach, 3-2. That game will be finished on June 16th. And folks, that completes baseball. We are at the 39-minute mark. Cross your fingers. We can go the full amount here. Okay, what is there left? Let's take you on the media tour and give you some fun here. You know how protesters and activists like to ruin games by all down on the field or, parachuting down. Well, and of course being roughed up by Oh, this was fun. We've seen lots of stories about the various types of cable suspended cameras over the years, from punts and passes hitting wires to great usage for kick returns and foggy games, questionable main angle usages to attempt to bring those cameras into other sports. But what happened ahead of the Euro 2020 match between France and Germany in Munich Tuesday stood out. Seemed a Greenpeace activist paraglided into the stadium with a parachute covered in slogans. But what he didn't realize, well, maybe a little late, but the activist got caught in his parachute on Spider Cam. Whack, whack. Now, there have been a few sports events disrupted by paragliding or parachuting protesters over the years, but it's unusual to see one get caught on a camera wire, and it's remarkable to see a camera system playing the kind of pitch invader defense we usually see from security. Hopefully, this didn't lead to serious injuries. I doubt it, except for maybe his or her pride, you know. All right, the Thriller Fight Club Miami pay-per-view has been rescheduled to August 14th after Teofimo Lopez tested positive for COVID-19. Wow. You ready for this? Rumblings of expanding the college football playoff to 12 teams certainly intrigues media analysts and observers because of how much money an event could generate. But for fans, having more schools in the mix for the national championship is greatly appealing for a sport that feels repetitive year after year after year with the same teams competing for a trophy. According to a feature in The Athletic by Nicole Auerbach, ESPN is acutely aware of how much coverage the playoff gets and how the focus on what's typically been the same four schools, Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, and Oklahoma, leave fans and players feeling left out of the buzz during the season. But ESPN will have to play a prominent role in changing that convo. Lee Fitting, the network's senior vice president of production overseeing college football coverage, amidst so much focus on the playoffs, has hurt the sport. No kidding! Fitting told Auerbach, it's time to take a little reset as far as we're concerned. Obviously, the playoff needs to remain a priority, A, for the sport, and B, for the business. But at the same time, I'm worried that we've gone a little too far away from what makes college football great, and that is that there is something in every game for the fans out there. In other words, they're destroying your fun, people. Don't you get it? Now, it's surely worth noting that one of the last season's most exciting matchups, especially with schools largely sticking to conference opponents due to COVID-19 concerns, was the BYU Coastal Carolina game on December 5th. The schools organized the game at the last minute, providing fans with matchup between non-Power 5 teams, both ranked among the top 15 of the AP Top 25 poll. Viewers responded, giving ESPNU its best numbers in 5 years. Broadcasters, well, they want the playoff to get less attention during the telecast. They're calling as well. Even ESPN College Game Day host Reese Davis goes through the rundown of that week's show, looking for opportunities to call attention to games and teams that deserve at least a brief mention. That reaches out to viewers whose schools aren't getting the spotlight that the playoff contenders and hopefuls enjoy. As an associate professor at Notre Dame explained to Auerbach, college football can already feel unfair when schools are ranked before the season begins, based largely on name recognition and repetition. I agree with that. That perception only increases during the season when the same teams get the most attention lifted in the playoff hunt. Now, the entire article is worth reading, though you need a subscription to The Athletic, of course. For more thoughts from Fitting on what ESPN can do to balance its coverage, reduce focus on the playoff, and give more schools an appropriate spotlight. That includes the increasing effort to broadcast College Game Day from campuses that don't often receive attention. Can they change the conversation it helped create in the first place? We'll just have to wait and see. All right, it is 20 after midnight Eastern time. We are, holy Methuselah. Do you realize we just got one thing left, and that's the international scores? We're making this. We're cooking it, folks. We're cooking. Okay, let's do this quickly before everything blows up in our face. In the Euro Soccer Cup, Portugal over Hungary 3-0, France over Germany 1-0. In Spain basketball playoffs, it was Barcelona over Real Madrid 92-73. In baseball, only one game in the Nippon professional baseball. I keep saying basketball, it's baseball. Only one game to report on in the NPB in Japan. The Hiroshima Carp defeated the Seibu Lions 5-3. Hori for Hiroshima 2-2 got the win. Garrett for Seibu got the loss. And let's you want to update the four games? Yes, let's update the four games right now in the Major League Baseball. In the eighth inning, the Oakland Athletics lead the Los Angeles Angels by a score of 6-3. Also in the eighth inning, the Arizona Diamondbacks lead the San Francisco Giants 8-5. In the sixth inning, Philadelphia and Los Angeles Dodgers Phillies, for respect. Los Angeles Dodgers, Philadelphia Phillies are tied at 3. And in the seventh inning, the Seattle Mariners continue to blank the Minnesota Twins 8-0. Now let's go to South Korea, the Korean baseball. The Korean Baseball Organization. Samsung Lions defeat the Doosan Bears by a score of 8-6. Kim Dae-woo for Samsung Lions gets a win. He's 1-2. Park Jung-soo gets a loss for Doosan. He's 3-2. Hanwha Eagles over the Lotte Giants 3-2. Carpenter for Hanwha gets the win. He's 3-6. Straley gets a loss for the Lotte Giants. He's 3-7. LG Twins over the Kowloon Heroes 4-2. Kelly gets the win for the Twin. He's 4-4. Jokic gets the loss. He's 7-5 for Kowloon. Postponements, we had a couple. Kia Tigers, SSG Landers, and the Dinos and Deshaun. Also got called to the carpet, as it were. Okay, wow. I think we've done it all. Yes, well, we're almost through. We're almost through. And we have not been cut like we've been for a couple of days. Gee, what can we do? We got about 7 minutes to kill. It's about 48 minutes and 5 seconds of a show here. Let's give you, I know we don't do this until Tuesday. No, this is Tuesday. Well, what can we do? Okay. Here was Raw's viewership for the Hell in a Cell Go Home show. Monday's Hell in a Cell Go Home edition of WWE Raw, featuring the final Red Brand build for Sunday's big old pay-per-view, plus the heavily hyped return of Eva Marie, was up a bit, 6.2% from last week, an average of 1.742 million viewers on the USA Network. Huzzah. You know that one. We got a little sad news. Former TNA announcer and radio person, who is now a radio personality in Washington, Don West, has been diagnosed with, where's the word? You guys have, yes, he's been diagnosed with brain lymphoma. Okay. By the way, we here at the Sports Final, or just Sports Final, want to congratulate former WWE personality Renee Paquette and her husband, some guy named some guy named John Moxley, on the birth of their baby girl. Big congratulations. Let's hear it from the crowd. All right, there you go. And on that happy note, and believe it or not, it is a happy note, we're going to go off the air right now. We feel so good, we're going to go off the air 5 minutes early. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, for watching, for caring, for sharing. We're going to have a little announcement of a bit of a format tweak. We're going to do that on Sunday's show at midnight Eastern. I think everybody will love the format tweak that we do on this broadcast to get it more interesting, more humorous, and more whacked out. So I think we are officially vamuted. Thank you, everybody, for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. And we look forward to doing this again tomorrow night, 11:35 Eastern Time, right here. Same time, same place, same YouTube channel. Until we meet again, Steve the Baxman Baxley for Harry Von Stuttgart and the whole crew here from the Fred McLeod Sports Desk in our lovely little cheap-ass studios here in Jackson, Michigan. Steve the Baxman Baxley saying thank you for joining us. And remember, never forget, laughter is the best medicine. Hell, it's the only thing that's free. With that said, thank you, good night. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great evening. And it's goodbye for me. It's goodbye for everyone here at Sports Final. Good night.